Okay, guys, I'm hoping someone pops up soon so that I can know that I'm live and I'm public. I'm not gonna be my happy peppy self today because I don't feel good. I have a toothache, so hopefully that'll be taken care of the next day or two. All right. So anyway, I gotta wait for somebody to pop up. What's going on? Hello, 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 hello. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Okay, now there we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. People popping up. Okay, there we go. There we go. I was wondering what's going on. All right. So, because I got big news today. Okay, big news today. Okay. So, let's go to my history, and we're just going to start off with this. Okay, we're going to start off with this, and then, I'm going to tell you the big news for today. Okay, here we go. Okay. Whoops. Okay, let me show you. Let me do this one. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that I've known about this because I left a comment here, right? See, here's my comment right here. And my comment was 4 years ago. Okay. So this is
Snowbank. He'd
okay,
been there
listen.
overnight where temperatures had dipped to 4 degrees below zero.
He was blue, his face, he was lifeless.
When the coroner was on scene, the state police was on scene, they were doing essentially a death investigation.
All signs lead us to believe that he's been dead for a considerable amount of time.
But Dr. Gerald Coleman didn't give up. Refusing to pronounce him dead, he and his team at Lehigh Valley Hospital performed CPR for 2 hours as they slowly started warming Justin's stiff, cold body. And then, over the next few days, doctors say his brain miraculously went from showing no activity to normal activity.
We knew we needed a big miracle.
Using a special machine that pumps, warms, and provides more oxygen to his blood, his heart started beating on its own.
No, I've never even heard anything like this. It's amazing. It's something I've never heard of, and I can't thank everyone enough.
Smith lost all his toes and both pinky fingers, but has since made a near complete recovery.
It was like I woke up from a dream, but it wasn't a dream, you know?
And Larry, you asking, well, what was he doing out there in the first place? He was walking home from a party, a walk he has made 1,000,000 times. They think possibly he slipped, hit his head, and was just stuck out there unconscious. Now, his body was frozen solid. It's crazy and morbid as this sounds. Just like you have meat in the refrigerator, if you want to preserve it, you put it in the freezer.
So is that what's in his brain?
I was going to say, his brain is fully functioning?
That's the part they can't figure out. It seems as if his body was frozen solid. So it was preserved, essentially. When the body heated up, the body came back alive.
I mean,
literally, it's what happened.
In 2 hours of CPR.
And the doctor didn't give up. They said this could possibly change
that's the real
history
They
moving forward.
didn't give up.
All those cryogenics people are going to...
Okay, they snuck in a cryogenics. Okay, they snuck in the cryogenics, but you guys heard that. Man, frozen solid, brought back to life, warmed up, and resuscitation attempts were for 2 hours, like Michael. The ambulance got there at, the call came in at 12:21, and they pronounced that body dead at 2:26. Okay, so that's 2 hours again. Okay, now this happened around 2006 years ago. So that's 2016. Yeah, 2016. Okay, and so I had wrote a comment 4 years ago about this. Okay, I'm not done, guys. I got to show you another video. Okay, let's see, another video. Where's my history? And here we go. Frogs and fish can be frozen solid and brought back to life as well. Okay, so here we go. Let me turn my camera. Skip ad.
Winter's coming, my animal friends. It's time to prepare.
Hey guys, I'm Alex Barnum, and this is Animalist News. Did you know that the blood of cold-blooded animals can freeze during the winter? In order to prevent these ice crystals from puncturing their organs, some animals have come up with some creative winter adaptations. You wouldn't think of going for a swim when it's freezing outside, but many animals find that that's the best way to warm up. Turtles, frogs, and many fish swim into the bottom of lakes and ponds in order to find shelter in the form of rocks, logs, and leaves. Since cold water holds more oxygen than warm water, they can lie dormant for hours, even days, by breathing through their skin. Without physical activity, these animals can generate their body fat into warmth. But an even crazier example is the wood frog, who actually turns into a frog sickle. After digging a nice little hole in the forest ground, this mysterious little frog stops his heartbeat, breathing, and even brain so that he can be frozen solid. But don't worry, he's not dead. In fact, 8 months later in the summer, the wood frog will melt and carry on with his little froggy life like nothing even happened. Although no one knows exactly how the wood frog survives, scientists have discovered that their liver flushes glucose throughout their body in order to protect their cells from freezing. So, how do you guys stay warm during winter?
There you go. Okay, guys. Okay. Now, remember, I'm not feeling well, and I did a lot of research today. So, a man was frozen solid and brought back to life after 2 hours of resuscitation. Frogs and fish and another animal he mentioned can be frozen solid and still live and come back to life, right? So the idea of cryonics or cryogenics is not that crazy. It's not that far off. As a matter of fact, I believe that it's going to happen one day, right? But the key to cryonics, right, is that as soon as you are legally pronounced dead, the cryonics people have to come in and they have to start the process while some of your organs, like your skin organs, are still alive, your skin tissues, your liver, your kidney, and all that and other stuff is still alive. Then what they do is they give you a heart pumping machine that starts CPR. And that's why Michael had that Michael's body, AKA, was it Michael's body or was it a cryogenics body, or did Michael lay on the floor? Because that body is shaped like Michael, right? So did Michael lay down and take that picture? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but there was that red mark, right, on the body. So that could be part of Michael's body, part of somebody else's body. Who knows? Because it has that hospital photo has that black thing area. So all kinds of things can happen. Plus the hands were, covered, so we couldn't see if he had the dark fingernails. I mean, it's just so absurd. Some of the things that have been happening, right? So let me get to here. So anyway, back in, let me pull this because I got so much stuff, guys. Okay. So back in 2009, 7/7, on 7/7, there was the article that I talked about, which is Michael going to a Raelians convention, right? Let's see, pull this up. That's the 2019 one. Here is the one that's 2007. Hold on. 2000. Okay. Oh man. Well, anyway, okay, here's the machine. I'm going to be a little discombobulated, but here's the machine that's used in cryonics, right? There's the machine. If you guys have watched the Alive docuseries, you know that this is the heart pumping machine that they use in cryonics. It's called a locust chest compression. And I did a video and I did some research about this, and they didn't have this at the Beverly Hills. I called Beverly Hills Fire Department, and they weren't using the locust machine at that time. And what it is it's better than manual CPR. It's a machine type of CPR. But this is what they use, and it's both devices are powered by pressured oxygen, restore blood flow for much better than manual CPR. The heart-lung machine then rapidly cools the blood and then replaces it with an organ somebody told me I need to slow down, and I'm going to slow down. Solution at a temperature at fewer degrees above freezing point of water. So these procedures will be done either in suspended animation, right? So suspended animation is what they call people who are cryonically frozen or cryonically cooled. Okay, so that is the machine, and you guys know, if you watch the Alive docuseries, you know that I had that machine in there already. Okay, now here we go. Michael's chauffeur, this happened, Michael went to a Raelians convention back in 2002 in Las Vegas, right? And they talked about cloning, and Michael went there thinking he's going to talk about cloning. He was really there to meet somebody from the cryonics facility to see how he can get a cryonic dead body. That's what I believe, okay? This is what the guy wrote. His name is Al Bowman. He was the chauffeur. Uri Geller was there, and some other people were there as well. He said, I remember that his friend Uri Geller was there too. The conversations on the way there were about cryonics, clothing, cloning, freezing of cells, all this scientific stuff. The chauffeur said this. The bad hitmaker driver also explained that the convention was mind-blowing and thinks there is a good possibility that Jackson is actually frozen at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Scottsdale, Arizona. He continued, there are people who think he is one of the people in Scottsdale in the below zero nitrogen metal tubes, what they call DEWAR, DEWAR tubes, they have in the facilities there. Now, this is a quote. Having heard how excited he was about the whole thing, I think there's a good possibility he is cryonically frozen. He believes in reanimation and was a reanimator. Okay, that's a clue. Michael's not dead, but he was interested in cryonics. So we can put Michael and cryonics at the same place, okay? And there was a 3-day convention that Michael went to. All right. So now that we got Michael and cryonics, and plus in the Alive docuseries, I have a lot more stuff about Michael and articles and cryonics and all that other stuff. So if you guys haven't watched the Alive docuseries, please do. All right. So here's Cryonics Meets Medicine. This article, I'm getting to the good stuff, guys. This article is from February 13, 2010. So just, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 8 months later, right? A little over 7 months later. Not quite 8, because that would be the 25th, right? Cryonics medication, Propofol, right? Alcor and suspended animation's use of Propofol is not only legal, but humane. It maintains unconsciousness, not to maintain death, right? So they put about 20 milligrams of Propofol in there, okay, to make sure that they don't accidentally wake up, right? So they're got them under anesthesia to preserve the brain. So that's why in my short film, A Prisoner of Fame, I have the Propofol there, right? Because they needed to preserve the brain, right? So there's more Propofol being pumped in case the resuscitation happens. So watch A Prisoner of Fame. I think I'm going to take the title and put A Price of Fame. Okay. I think I'm going to change it. I'm going to have Cecil change it for me. Okay. And also you got to remember that in A Prisoner of Fame, I have them make sure it's all on the up and up. Michael did this. He wanted something, but he also wanted to advance science, right? He wanted to advance science. So every now and then things happen where animated bodies that are cryonic patients, they are resuscitated. There's an attempt at resuscitation, and this was an attempt at resuscitation because of the flumazenil, which is a benzodiazepines antidote, right? So we got that. So we got a reason for them to do it legally on the up and up, right? So we know that cryonics and propofol go hand in hand. Now we're going to talk about the ephedrine. Let me make sure I'm ready for that one yet. Okay, wait. Okay, let's go to the ephedrine. 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 That's been bugging me, right? What is going on with ephedrine? What is that? It was a weight loss pill. And why would Michael have a weight loss pill? What is going on with that, right? Oh my God. Joni is so smart, right? Let me find it. Let me find it for you guys. Okay, let me find what I have saved here for you guys. Is this it? Yep, this is probably it. Okay, so it's probably on my desktop. Let's go on my desktop. There's better copies of it on my desktop. All right, so you ready for the bombshell for the ephedrine? You ready for it, guys? Oh my God. Hang on to your seats because you're getting ready to have your mind blown. Where is it here? Oh my God. Okay, let me do it like this. I have everything here, but you guys really, my headache is just outrageous for, here we go. For this toothache, and I hope this tooth comes out soon. That's one of the effects of getting old. You start losing teeth, you know. All right, so here we go. So we thank Joni for this. All right, so the effects of chronic ephedrine treatment on substrate utilization, the sympathadrenaline activity, and energy expenditure during glucose-induced thermogenesis in man, right? Whoa, what is that, right? So what is thermogenesis, right? The production of heat, especially in a human or animal body. What the heck? Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Did you guys see that? The production of heat in a body. That's what ephedrine does. It heats up your body. It heats up the insides of your body. Okay. How could anything be so perfect, right? They were using it to try to thaw the insides of that cryonic body. Okay, I'm gonna get a headache if I get too excited. I got so excited this morning. I had a migraine headache, right? Oh my God. Thermogenesis is the heating up of the body, and that's what ephedrine does. It heats up the body so it can burn more fat. It also is an adrenaline push. That's why it's outlawed. It's on the doping list for athletes. They can't have any ephedrine. It has so many bad side effects, and it was used as a booster for people that smoke methamphetamine, methane, or whatever that drug is, right? So therefore it was outlawed in the United States, right? But it warms up the body. Oh my God, hold on. Let me show you the words that it uses. Oh my God, hold on. Let me find the words. I love these words here that it came with. Hold on. Crystals. Oh yeah, I already talked about crystals because remember I told you guys it has something to do with those ice crystals. It had something to do with the ice crystals because yesterday I was telling you guys and I found the alkaloid word, right? All right. Okay, so there was the ephedrine type alkaloids. Okay, there it was. And then it was talking about the crystals, right? Cool peptides, ephedrine, cryonic cooling ions, ephedrine. Where did it? Oh, yes, cryonic single crystals. So I knew it had something to do with that. So what it does is it heats up the body. And check out this word that they use that they call it. Oh my God, is it this one? No, it's the next one. It's this one. Oh my God. No, it's not this one. It's got to be this one. Oh my goodness. Oh, did I save it? Here we go. Here we go. No. Oh shoot, where is it? Where is it? Ephedrine, because Michael doesn't need to lose weight, and it also treats narcolepsy. So you know he's not taking it because he's not falling asleep, right? Narcolepsy is people who just got, they're walking, boom, they just fall asleep, right? What's her name? Harriet Tubman. She had narcolepsy, right? Where she just fell asleep, right? So here we go. Let me find that. Oh my goodness, where is it? Where is it? Gosh. Okay, we're gonna talk about some more stuff. So you guys just stay tuned. You just bear with me. Okay, let me just Google it. You know, sometimes it's easier to Google it. Okay, so let's Google, and I love Google. I don't like the other ones, but I love Google. Okay. Let me put this in quotes. Put this in quotes. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Research breakdown of ephedrine. Ephedrine, right? So here we go. Ephedrine, right? Ephedrine is one of the 4 components of the herb ephedra. It is able to induce fat loss via increasing the amount of fat available for fuel, as well as increasing heat expenditure. It has implication in increasing the metabolic rate in humans, blah, 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 but the heat. Okay, now where is my word? Let me do Control F. Let me do Control F and look at what they call these words. Look at this. Here it is. Ephedrine can also increase thermogenesis, which is the generation of heat, via I ain't even gonna try, abilities and the phenomenon of hot pipes, otherwise known as vascular thermogenesis, as well as acting brown tissue, blah, 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 blah. Hot pipes. That means it can go through your body and it can heat up your body. That's why that was found in that body, because they were using it. Remember in my short film, A Prisoner of Fame, remember that? Remember how he was trying to heat up the body, and he was waiting and waiting for the body to heat up? Right. But this right here, they put it in that body so they could heat up the organs. It could heat up the pipes. Bam! Okay? So we got the Propofol used in cryonic freezing. We got Michael connected to a cryonics convention. We got the ephedrine in the system, right? Okay. Now, and also no doctor or no hospital or anything is attached to it because they knew it was illegal. Now bringing it to illegal, right? In the United States, Michael was real careful, right? Michael was very careful. So let's go to my YouTube page again. Let's go to my YouTube page and let's look up A Prisoner of Fame. And let me show you guys something. Because I knew that Michael could not, wait, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me not get ahead of myself. All right. Okay. So here we're going to watch a little bit of my film, A Prisoner of Fame. Okay. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit.
Over the phone.
Okay. Here we go.
This is the Propofol.
Okay. Here we go. All right. So here we go. Here we go. My film is Prisoner of Fame. See the Propofol?
It's perfect. The body of Austin Carlton, modified to your specifications.
The body is way too cold.
It had to be transferred in a semi-frozen state. To survive the trip, it's my experience that the body decays rather rapidly when it begins to thaw. As I reviewed with you over the phone, this is the Propofol. It is the preservative that protects the brain when in cryofreeze. It's going to be throughout the body, and it doesn't dissolve out like liquid nitrogen.
All right. Okay. Did you notice he had a Russian accent? Right? Did you notice he had a Russian accent? So, with that ephedrine, was this body from Russia? Okay, because I had already figured it. Because Alcor versus the Cryonics Institute, they're too close to home. There's the pesky American laws, right? But for scientific purposes, you can do all kinds of stuff, especially when it's a dead body, right? For scientific study, right? So I'm sure Michael used this as a scientific study, because Michael used to wear the bodies exhibit. Remember, he went to the bodies exhibit, which is an exhibit of real dead bodies without the skin, so we can see inside, and it travels all over the world. Well, there is a Russian facility, Stranger in Moscow. Remember, in Alive 3, we have Michael in that Russian website where he's talking and he's singing. All right, got it. Right. So anyway, so here we go with, so there is a Russian cryonics facility. It's called Cryonics. I have it here. Okay, let me show you guys. Cryonics. I have it. Okay, Cryonics. Okay, and it started in like 2005. Started in 2005. Where's all my stuff at? Where's my Cryonics? I don't know what I did with stuff. Sometimes I save it somewhere, but I can always Google it and find it again. Okay, so Cryonics. Let's go ahead. Kriorus is a cryonics facility in Moscow. Right, it started in 2005. And they have 82 patients as of 2021. It was founded, and it's got foreigners. It's got 20 out of the 82 patients, it's got 25 foreigners. So we know that it travels, right? That bodies can travel outside of the country because they have 25 foreigners, they said. And there was some weird stuff that went on there. The couple, they got into a fight, and then they were like, no, I own the bodies. No, you own the bodies. Then somebody tried to steal the bodies, and it was just a mess. And that was in 2001. So their records are all messed up right now, right? So anyway, so that's why I gave this actor the Russian accent on purpose, because I figured Michael would use a cryonics facility outside the United States because he's paranoid about breaking any laws, because it's not against the law to fake your death, right? It's only against the law to break a law in the commission of faking your death, right? So all the laws still exist. Just because you fake your death don't mean other laws don't exist. They still exist, except for the act of faking your death and disappearing is not, and it's not outlawed. It's not against the law. You can disappear and you can fake your death, but you better not scam nobody, and you better not run from the government, run from the law. You better not run from your debts. And we know that the estate was right on it and paid Michael's debts immediately, right? All right, so we have that. Okay, here is just a little bit, if you guys want to see some stuff on it. And whatever reason, it always hourglasses. I don't know, it's continuously hourglassing. Okay, so here is the information on Cryonics. Okay. All right, so they have the cryonics facility in their cryonics facility. Okay, and they do things a little bit different. So was it an American that went to Russia and got the surgery and everything in Russia or in some other country and then was transported back to the United States? I don't know how it's done, how Michael did it all. All I know is that just adds to the big gigantic pile that Michael Jackson, that body was not Michael Jackson's dead body. And that's the only way all this makes sense. It's the only way Peter, Michael, Bobby makes sense. It's the only way that the Michael dead and alive makes sense. And it's purposeful, it's intentional, because there's not one death document in the correct name of Michael Joe Jackson. Every single solitary thing related to the death is in Michael's wrong name of Michael Joseph Jackson. Everything is, okay? And so there's some intentional, but is it against the law? No, it's not. And did Michael fill out the death certificate? No, Michael did not. Okay, was it up to Walgren, the prosecutor in the Murray's case, to be more thorough? Look at me. I'm not even a doctor or a scientist or whatever, and I figured it out. How come these brilliant people couldn't figure it out, right? So now that helps with the ice crystals, right? And so that has been one of the main things that says that you can't unthaw a body, because when you unthaw it, it's going to develop the ice crystals. But they have kind of an antifreeze preservative now that they've had. And that they've been using, that they will break down on the ice crystals. I think I saved something with the ice crystals. Here it is, right here. I saved that one. That one was easy to find. Okay, so will cryonics work? Science speculation in the cold shoulder. Sub-zero science, simply put, subpar. Cryoprotected solution that freezes cells without causing the crystal formation that would damage them when returned to normal temperature. All right, so we know that ephedrine is one of the things that they tried, and they tried it with that body, that dead body of Michael's, which I believe is Oscar Quintana or Carlton Austin Guy, right? Because why would someone put AKA Michael Jackson on an unclaimed body? Because they thought that that was Michael Jackson's body. And then we have alleged victim and alleged date in the court case, right? We got the alleged victim who died on an alleged date. What the heck? There's no alleged date, right? An alleged victim means we don't know who that dead body is, or we're not saying who it is, and we're not claiming that it's Michael's, and we're not claiming that it's fact that that dead body died on that day. That's what that means, period, right? So let's see what else I have. I got so much fun. I got to be calm. I can't get too excited, because if I get too excited, Ettinger, who was from the Cryonics Institute, he was the head of it, and he's like the father of cryonics. He died in 2011. And it's not like, everybody in the facility would know that Michael used a cryonic body. Michael went to that cryonics facility to meet the top guy, the one guy, okay, who can be all enamored. Oh my God, Michael Jackson wants to talk to me, and meet the top guy. And of course there were NDAs signed, right? Anybody who thinks that you can just ask people questions and they're just going to answer and tell you the truth when it's not against the law, the lie, right? And they're not under oath. They can say whatever they want to say. If you think that this is a hoax and you just ask people questions and they just going to answer you correctly, you don't know what a hoax is. Right? You're like missing the whole thing, that this is a death hoax, which is a trick, which is an illusion, which is a set of lies, which is a magic trick, a hoax, right? All right. So let's see what else I have here. Okay. Now, I always wondered about this, right? I always wondered about why the heck were there so many puncture marks on Michael's body. If you go back to the pseudocide, I spent a lot of time talking about puncture marks, and I really didn't understand, and they're symmetrical, right? So here is something that somebody made up. I forget what maybe Daily Mail or something had done this. But here is the supposed autopsy. And that is just, I have a really good copy of the autopsy somewhere because the coroner sent it to me, but I don't know where it is, and I really don't feel like looking for it right now. But anyway, somebody broke it down, right? Of all the puncture wounds, right? So we have puncture, and then another puncture, and then we have puncture, and then another puncture. Then we have scar, and then another scar. And then we have puncture, and then we have another puncture. Then we have puncture and another puncture, and puncture and another puncture, right? Why Michael having all these crazy punctures? And it looks like they try to do them exactly on the other side of the body. On one side matches the other side. So were they feeding the body the ephedrine? Were they puncturing the ephedrine, right? Because I always felt like these puncture wounds had to do with cryonics, right? With how they were storing the body, or how they were injecting the body, or how they were getting the body ready to be resuscitated, right? So whatever happened, I would say that it's reasonable to believe that this cryonic body went back to the cryonics facility for them to study and keep notes and see what happens and all that other stuff to advance science. And that's what I believe Michael did all this under, which is an advancement of science. They did the surgery on the face because the skin tissues weren't dead. And most people who have a benzodiazepines overdose, which the benzodiazepines overdose, they usually are in a coma before they die. And remember all the talk on the day of the death announcement, Michael's in a coma, Michael's in a coma. Right? Michael's been telling us, and there's been stuff this whole time, but then this other story kind of, becomes bigger. And then so the little details people didn't pay attention to. And it's the little details that really tells the story of what happened to Michael Jackson, that he escaped the BS and escaped his haters. Okay, by faking his death. He wanted out of the fame. He wanted to get his projects done. People were stopping him. Haters were interfering. They were giving him a bad name. They were saying he ain't this, he ain't that, and he's a molester, and he doesn't deserve, and blah, blah. And he couldn't get nothing done. And then people were suing him crazy. And then people calling him a child molester. It was just too much. He couldn't be the creative genius that he wanted to be and that he is. So he devised a plan to escape that life by faking his death. It's really simple, right? And it's not a bad thing. To me, it's a wonderful thing. It makes me very, very, very happy, right? But yeah, the ephedrine heats up the body organs. I knew it had something to do with that. Isn't that great? Okay. Okay, now let's talk about heat, right? There was reports that puncture wounds. Okay, so there were supposed to be puncture wounds. Let's go back to puncture wounds. Okay, now this was the image that, let's see if I have the full thing. Here we go. This is the image that Brian Panish used to say Michael was sick and thin, and he had no footage of Michael sick in those 70, 80 hours, or Michael fainting, or Michael passing out, or Michael saying, bring me a chair, or Michael being out of breath. We don't have any of that because none of that happened because Michael was healthy, right? And then we have this, but look at his arms. This was on June 18, 2009, 7 days before the death announcement, right? There's no puncture wounds on the arm. Where are they? Where's the puncture wounds? Maybe we can't see him, but they sure ain't there. And if he had them, I'm sure he would not be showing his arms like that. Okay? Right? And showing his neck and all this other stuff. This guy has to move his, Michael's at a fitting for Zandy. I think that was his name, the designer. Right? Here's a better close-up of the arm. Nothing on them arms. Nothing. So when did all these puncture marks happen? They happened when they were trying to thaw that dead body and they were sticking it with ephedrine, okay? And the ephedrine, was found in the urine specimen, right? And so that was so good. That was so good, the hot pipes. Wasn't that good? I got so excited. Oh my God, I gave myself the worst headache for like 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so here we go with the ephedrine. Okay, and I think they only tested the ephedrine in the urine because there was a jug of urine that was kind of red looking, and then I think Kai said she fed him beets or something. I think, but anyway, so here is the ephedrine, right? Present, and propofol. There's a propofol. See propofol present. So we got ephedrine and propofol present. They tested for all kinds of stuff. None detected. ND means none detected. And why does she still have to say on here, hospital blood, tube labeled Trauma Gershwin? Okay? They still ain't fixed it to Michael Jackson's name, even at the trial. Even on the autopsy, they're saying Trauma Gershwin. Because Conrad Murray knows that body wasn't his, and that's why the body was admitted into UCLA under the name of Soleil Sean for Circus Soleil. That's what I believe. And Trauma Gershwin. Okay, and Gershwin is a composer that wrote a song called Not Necessarily So. So, did Conrad Murray give him both names? Trauma Gershwin? I'm just saying, 2 hours resuscitation. It all matches. Okay. So, So the feet. Okay, I gotta bring down some more stuff. There was no morphine, alprazolam. There was no morphine detected in the body. No weed, no marijuana, no cocaine, no fentanyl. None of that stuff was in there. Whoever does dead body, he was a benzodiazepines junkie, and he died from that. Or maybe he tried to commit suicide and just took a whole bunch of benzodiazepines, because you're saying it was cause of death for propofol because you had all that propofol, because they had to not only use it continuously, they had to use it first to make sure you remain unconscious. It's a part of the cryonics protocol. Propofol is a part of cryonics protocol. And then when they tried to wake it up, they had to have more propofol. So in case the resuscitation happens, the brain is still preserved and intact, right? Keep you unconscious while they stabilize your body. They stabilize your blood pressure. They stabilize your heartbeat. Okay. Wow. I mean, and then, okay, the feet. Okay. Let's see. And this is in the last page. This is the last page of the autopsy, right? The last page of the autopsy. It's not LaToya when she was supposed to be going to Forest Lawn to get the hair sample, right? Remember that? On August 6th? Remember that? But Forest Lawn said, we don't have Michael's body and we've never had it. So what body was at Forest Lawn? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. Here we go. Somebody went to Forest Lawn, and maybe they went to Forest Lawn and they picked it up, but Forest Lawn said, we don't have Michael's body. We've never had Michael's body. Right. So that's why the crypt is empty. Or did they have it at Forest Lawn just for the sake of another name and just for the sake of appearances, like it really happened, and then they picked up the body later? Something's weird. And then Karen's description of the dead body don't match. I'm telling y'all, it's all just ridiculous. Okay. How come it's not simple? You died, everything matches, everything makes sense, and you're dead, and we can all just mourn Michael and, but no, that ain't what happened. Okay. So this is the last page of, like it was added or something. This is the last page of Michael Joseph Jackson's autopsy. That's not his name. So we have, we got the propofol at a 3.2. My goodness, that's a lot of profile. Hospital blood 4.1. That's a lot. Femoral blood 2.6. I think that's leg blood. I think the femoral is the leg. And then they have gastro contents, and then they have urine, and then here we go. And then we have all these benzodiazepines, the PAMs, the LAMs, and then we have the ephedrine. None in the heart blood, but it's present in the urine, and it's present in the urine, the scene at the urine scene. So did Michael put that? There was supposed to be a catheter, right? There was a catheter. So something's off, okay? And people are not telling the truth about a lot of stuff, because Ed Winter said he uses a driver's license to name and identify the dead body, which you can do, but you can't. But there's no driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson, and Jeffrey had the driver's license. What are you using, an expired driver's license? I'm kind of confused by all that. Okay, so all right. So I want to get to the blood. The feet. All right. So anyway, so there was supposed to be, Michael's supposed to have really, really, really bad feet. His feet were really bad, right? And where is, I thought I saved all this stuff. Maybe I saved it somewhere else. I don't know. But anyway, let's just Google Michael Jackson's feet. Michael Jackson autopsy feet. Okay, here we go. So his feet were supposed to be bad, right? He was supposed to have rotting feet. What the heck? Rotting feet? Right? Now, in cryonics, they suspend you upside down so that your head, no matter what happens, if the fluids fall out, or if it dissipates, or there's a hole or a leak or something, that your brain stays intact and stays under the liquid nitrogen, so it does not be exposed to accidents. But that leaves the feet a little bit exposed, right? Because the feet are at the top because you're upside down, right? So is that what the whole thing about rotting feet was all about? Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Jackson's disturbing autopsy with rotting feet. Okay, here it is. Jackson's disturbing autopsy, grim tattoos, rotting feet, and skin change. Right? And they talk about the peach fuzz and the rotting feet and all that other stuff. And then one guy that's in my pseudocide book, whoops, sorry. One guy that's in my pseudocide book, e-movie book, which I needed to go back and review that. He told a story about Michael and his feet, right? But how come none of that is captured on camera? And also, Brandon Randy Phillips, he supposedly, let me look up my pseudocide. Let me get my pseudocide real quick. Randy Phillips, don't let me forget, because I already lost the train of thought once. Okay, Randy Phillips. He supposedly, what was I going to say? Oh no, did it tell me I forgot what I was saying? Oh no. Randy Phillips. He wanted to make sure that he had cameras on all the time when Michael was there. Okay, that's why there were 11 cameras. One Travis had, right? He always wanted cameras going in case Michael backed out later. They had enough behind the scenes footage to sell or recoup the cost. Now, right now, it's really ticket sales that's paying for everything. But AEG is the promoter. So therefore, if all the ticket sales monies had to go back to all the people because Michael didn't perform, it was out of AEG's pocket that they paid for This Is It. Because the ticket sales is what really paid for all the rehearsals and everything like that. But if you have to refund all that money, right, then you don't have nothing and you're out the money that you paid everybody, right? So, where's pseudocide? Come on. Okay, here we go. So he had a camera going all the time. So if Michael had bad feet, wouldn't we have some footage of Michael in bad feet? Michael walking or saying ow or limping or something, right? We should have that. But the autopsy doesn't show that there's anything wrong with the feet. So that's a little weird. That's a little weird, right? All right. So here is I want the pseudocide actual book here. And then I'm going to Control F for feet. And it was a letter that somebody that was at This Is It, that was a part of the cast or the crew, had wrote, okay, about Michael and his feet. Okay, who remembers that? Who remembers that? That's in the pseudocide e-movie book. Okay. Furthermore, most serious addicts that inject drugs into their veins have scars on their arms and their feet and bruising on their hips and buttocks. The autopsy had no mention of that either, right? Bruising, it had some scars or whatever, but here's a letter, okay? We Are the World also performed and a few others. Other performance that after researching had been denied, Michael did perform Dirty Diana. It was a masterpiece. Granted, Michael did not sound all that good. It was only rehearsal. He did it twice. The setup was excellent. Why AEG are denying that it happened, that it didn't take place, I do not know. Well, he's saying that he did do Dirty Diana, but Dirty Diana was supposed to be the day before. The next day, because Dirty Diana was where he disappeared. It was supposed to be rehearsed. It was the part where Michael was going to disappear from a bed. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. So anyway, so somebody wrote this letter. His name is Fonte from MJJ Community, I think. And so this is in here. So he said, the problems that I saw was basically Michael had some problems with his feet. After rehearsals with the dancers, he would usually be in a great deal of pain from his feet. Right? Why don't we have anything like that captured? Why don't we have anything like that on camera of Michael and his feet, or Michael being sick, or Michael being inebriated, or Michael being dizzy, or Michael being weak. We don't have any of that on camera because Brian Panish, he looked for it, and why wouldn't he use it when he's trying to say AEG was responsible for working Michael to death, right? He was under so much pressure to perform, and they didn't care, blah, blah, blah. So it was his job to show AEG was putting too much pressure on Michael and show a poor Michael, right? Poor Michael, right? So anyway, I don't know what's going on with the feet, but the autopsy didn't match that something was wrong with Michael's feet. Comrade Murray also said Michael had bad feet. Okay. Somebody else mentioned to me yesterday or the day before, they said, what about the missing belly button? Because Michael had a big belly button. So was some of the body Michael and some of the body not Michael? So let's go back and let's revisit the the autopsy photo. Okay, so let's do Michael Jackson autopsy photo. Okay, let's go back to that. Okay, so let's hope that this is a good one, a good picture of it. I want a big one. Okay, so here is it does look like Michael's body, right? At least it looks like his legs, right? It does look like these legs because he's a little knock-kneed, right? And that's how I know that Jack Crooner ain't Michael Jackson, because Jack Crooner is bow-legged, okay? Michael is knock-kneed. So we don't know what is underneath here. We don't know if this is two different bodies. We know that the head was put on because there's supposed to be puncture marks on the neck. There ain't no puncture marks on the neck. We don't see any. And that's just so obviously photoshopped on. Okay? The big old long neck like that, when the hospital photo has a short little neck. Okay? So this is the Propofol apparatus mark. Propofol, I called it that again. This is the apparatus mark for the Lucas, the Lucas, Lucas, okay, device that I showed you guys at the beginning of this live, right? Because that kept pumping it. So that also supports that it's a cryonic body double, right? And where's the belly button? Michael had a big old outie belly button. Where is the belly button? I think it's right there, but it should be huge. Okay, because Michael had a big outie belly button. Like when you see him and you are not alone, and he's naked there, you see a big old belly button. Or when Michael took off his shirt, he had a big belly button. So it should be profound there, but it is there. It is there, but you can barely see it. Okay, so let's see if anybody remembers where I kind of went off, because I am really have a headache and I'm not doing so well, and I got it. Oh man, I done missed it. Okay, so all right, so no comments. Okay, so no comments. So I went here, feed damage because it's upside down, the Raelian Convention, no morphine, okay, yeah, and the cardiologist, the reason why a cardiologist was needed, because they used Conrad Murray because he was a cardiologist that was responsible for trying to start the heartbeat to beat on its own, okay? And that's why Dr. Rachel Cooper, who was the emergency room doctor at UCLA, said that she could hear sounds of a dying heartbeat, like barely moving, because they had been beating it for a year and a half. Okay, since if that body really died December 10th, 2007, that's a year and a half, right? So let's see. And then, they turned it off later, just like in The Prisoner of Fame. Okay, so Fish and Ettinger, the Cryoroos, frogs, man brought back to life, open Cryonics. There's another Cryonics facility that they opened in Russia too. And like I said, let's look up the red urine container. Michael Jackson, red urine container. Let's see if that comes up. Because there was urine found. Here it is, right here. TMZ had it. What the heck? Red urine? There it is right there. Okay. So that was there kind of as a diversion of something. And then one thing that Joni did talk to me about was Michael's friend David Blaine, right? Why is it red? I mean, was it the beets? It could be the beets, because the beets can turn your poo-poo red too, right? So David Blaine is a magician that Michael really liked. And Michael hung around magicians because they're not really magic people. They have the art of diversion. They know how to create an illusion. So if Michael wanted to create an illusion, he has to go to the best. And Michael knows to go to the best, right? So Michael Jackson, David Blaine. I have there's pictures of them together. Okay. Uri Geller, Michael Jackson, David Blaine, images. Okay, Uri Geller also could bend a spoon. Remember, he's a magician too. Here's Michael, Uri Geller, and David Blaine. There they are. Okay, they hung out. Michael hung around with David Copperfield because we know that's true because Shauna was working for David Copperfield and Michael went to a show and she tried to say he came to the show to see her, but it was more like a coincidence maybe when he first got back from being, overseas, all the different places he went after he was acquitted. But anyway, the whole David Blaine, remember when David Blaine did that hunger strike where he was up on something for years and he didn't, for 44 days. And then they studied his body, right? David Blaine, 44-day hunger strike. I remember that. I was like, oh, the poor guy. Doctors have started to feed illusionist David Blaine after he completed his 44-day starvation stint with only water for sustenance. Okay, so then they had to study what were the effects of David Blaine's body. What happened? Was there any deterioration? Did his, kind of like people who are anorexic, when you stop eating and you're so skinny, you want to keep moving around, your body has to feed off of fuel. And the fuel that it'll start feeding off of if you don't have enough fat in your body is your organs. So David Blaine had to be studied. Okay, so that's another thing that all these things put together with Michael, all this stuff adds to understanding Michael Jackson. And I think some reason why a lot of people have problems understanding Michael Jackson is because they're thinking about things in their perspective, according to their life, according to who they are, instead of stopping and thinking about Michael according to Michael's life, according to what Michael was experiencing, according to Michael's troubles, according to Michael's goals. So it's not really a weird thing to get a cryonic body double if you're Michael Jackson, because you've seen so many wax figures of yourself. You've seen so many wax figures of yourself, and you've seen impersonators, you've seen body doubles, you've seen stand-ins. So in his mind, a cryonic body double just is right in line with what he was doing, for years. So that's how I try to understand Michael Jackson, is I try to be like him. I try to put myself in his life as much as I can, and that's how I come up with all these things. So anyway, guys, I think I went through all my notes. So thermogenesis with the ephedrine. Hot pipes, warm up the body. Bam, we got it. All right, guys, I will talk to you next time, and keep Michaeling. Oh, don't forget to get your Stays All Day Fragrance Shea Body Butter. I still have a few more of the MJ Orchids. Please order and help me so I can do a live 5, okay? Because we got some more good stuff for a live 5. All right, and a live 5, Michael Jackson survives. So I will talk to you guys next time. Go to staysallday.com and order your fragrance body butter. It's really good for your skin, especially dry skin. I've posted the benefits of shea butter, and they're vast. And so just order some. And also, if you order an Alive docuseries or whatever, I'm trying to get enough money, okay, to do a live 5. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye.